everyone's life, there comes a moment when the ability to let go becomes more crucial than the drive to acquire. After 60, what you choose to release plays a pivotal role in safeguarding your inner peace, often proving more significant than even your deepest desires. Many older adults carry the burden of unspoken regrets, exhaustion, and accumulated disappointments. Often, the root of the problem isn't a lack of something, but rather what they continue to cling to. These unconscious habits, words, and even their surroundings gradually erode joy, obscure life's purpose, and diminish the clarity they've sought throughout their lives. If you are 60, 70, or 80 years old, and you seek emotional strength, spiritual healing, or simply a calmer, wiser life, this information may prove especially valuable. We will explore 3 things not to say, 3 habits to release, and 3 places to avoid, all aimed at helping you age with dignity, wisdom, and achieve long-sought inner peace. Important insights lie ahead, capable of transforming your life for the better. Let's begin with a seemingly innocuous statement that subtly undermines your connection to reality. As you enter maturity, particularly after 60, it's crucial to eliminate the phrase, "Back in my day, things were better." Many over 70 have likely uttered this aloud or to themselves, and it's perfectly understandable. The phrase often feels truthful, filled with nostalgia, offering comfort and a longing for a simpler way of life. However, it frequently transforms into emotional poison, as it carries a hidden yet destructive message. The present isn't good enough. When this belief permeates one's consciousness, it begins to alienate them from the very world they still inhabit and are a part of. Undoubtedly, the past held its own beauty. Life seemed simpler, society more cohesive, and daily life was imbued with a rhythm of respect and discipline that many older adults miss today. Families were strong, and obligations were met without fail. However, an excessive attachment to the past can blind a person to the opportunities that exist now. When the older generation constantly reminisces about how wonderful everything used to be, they unconsciously create a distance, especially with younger generations. The modern world may seem chaotic and perplexing, yet it too holds its unique beauty and opportunities. One simply needs to cease comparing it to a bygone era. If an individual seeks to maintain clarity of mind and vitality after 70, they should honor the past but stand firmly in the present, for every moment, every breath remains sacred and full of meaning. A dangerous trap capable of stealing your life energy lies within the phrase, "I'm too old to change." Of course, this seemingly harmless assertion is, in fact, a powerful self-limiter, subtly convincing mature individuals that their horizons for growth have narrowed, new beginnings are pointless, and the pursuit of high goals has lost its relevance. Such a mindset erects invisible yet insurmountable barriers around a person, constricting the space for joy and new experiences. However, age is not an insurmountable barrier to transformation. The true impediment is resistance to change and rigid thinking. It is these, not the number of years lived, that determine one's freedom and capacity for renewal. When one insists, "I'm too set in my ways," they aren't finding protection, but rather shackling themselves, building self-imposed walls around their potential. Even at 65, 75, or 85, life's journey continues, growth doesn't cease, and the capacity for new thoughts, renewed strength, and a fresh life doesn't fade. The earth keeps turning, and every person is capable of moving forward, exploring the unknown, and uncovering new facets within themselves. Don't allow routine to become a prison that deprives you of fresh perception and spontaneity. Don't trade life's energy for predictability, which inevitably leads to stagnation. It is never too late to embark on something that brings peace and fulfillment. It is never too late to change your outlook on the world and yourself. As long as you breathe, you continue to write your unique story, and each new chapter can be filled with profound meaning and amazing discoveries. Let's consider the third emotional trap that lies in wait on life's path, the burdensome, "Oh, if only I had." This 5-word phrase can become an unbearable weight for those who have crossed the threshold of 60. Regrets, like a thick fog, envelop memories, whispering of irretrievably lost opportunities during moments of solitude. They penetrate deep into the soul, forcing one to relive past failures and mistakes, generating a sense of despair. However, it's crucial to remember the past is a fixed monolith that cannot be changed, while the future is pliable clay, ready to take any form. Regret only strengthens and expands, fueled by negative thoughts and experiences. Endlessly replaying events that went wrong cannot bring back a lost day, but it's not needed, for it is within each person's power to create a brand new, better tomorrow. Instead of indulging in agonizing thoughts of, "Oh, if only I had," redirect your heart's energy and ask yourself, "What else can I do right now?" For even a single kind word, a new fulfilling hobby, a sincere prayer, or a blessing can alter the course of future events. This doesn't mean the past should be forgotten, but it's crucial not to let it dictate the terms of your present and future. Life's journey is not yet complete, and no one is stuck. Everyone has time to create something beautiful, healing, authentic, and meaningful. Mature age is a time for wisdom and creativity, not for endless regrets about the past. As you approach 60, it's time to reevaluate life's priorities and release certain habits, not due to physical limitations, but because of newfound wisdom and maturity. First and foremost, stop seeking approval from the younger generation. Someone who has crossed the 60-year threshold has no need to prove anything to anyone. Behind them are decades filled with change, raising children, experiencing losses, and overcoming hardships that the younger generation has yet to face. The life path of a mature individual is a treasure trove of invaluable experience and profound knowledge. Why seek validation from those just beginning their journey? Trying to look younger, following fashion trends, and adopting youth slang not only fails to achieve the desired effect, but also distances you from your own individuality. Youth values authenticity and uniqueness, not imitation. Instead of being a mirror reflecting others' expectations, strive to become a beacon. It's essential to stand firm on your principles and radiate inner wisdom and serenity. Equanimity becomes a strength, and life experience a light guiding others. The true value of a mature person lies not in external evaluations, but in the depth of their experience and unique personality. Secondly, avoid hoarding driven by irrational fear. Often, older individuals maniacally cling to worn-out clothing, useless souvenirs, outdated furniture, and even relationships that have long since run their course. Frequently, the root cause isn't the inherent value of these items or connections, but a panicked fear of an unpredictable future they believe will unfold if they lose everything. However, such a fixation on the past does not bring peace or inner harmony. On the contrary, it creates chaos and clutter, both in one's home and in one's mind. This physical and mental disorder becomes a powerful source of stress, hindering clear and rational thinking. The ability to let go is not synonymous with loss. It is, first and foremost, the acquisition of freedom and a sense of lightness. Memories reside not in dusty boxes stored in the attic, but in the depths of the human soul. The love one has given throughout life is reflected in the hearts of others, not in inanimate material objects. Therefore, it's essential to declutter and release everything superfluous and unnecessary, not only to free up physical space, but also to achieve clarity of mind, gain freedom of movement, and breathe fully. The less the burden of the past weighs on your shoulders, the greater the chance to invite peace and harmony into your life. This process of liberation has a powerful therapeutic effect, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Thirdly, you should resolutely cease the painful fixation on past losses. Undoubtedly, the aging process inevitably brings a series of losses: the passing of dear friends, the gradual weakening of physical strength, and the conclusion of important life roles that once brought satisfaction and joy. All of this is an integral part of the natural life cycle, and experiencing grief is, of course, necessary for healing. However, grief should not become a permanent dwelling place, a state of prolonged residence. It is intended as a specific stage, a temporary state through which one passes to recover and move forward. Constant immersion in the past deprives one of the ability to see the beauty that still surrounds them here and now. The sunlight still caresses your face, morning tea still offers its comforting warmth and rich aroma, and the garden continues to bloom vibrantly and yield abundant fruit. Most importantly, you are still here, alive and fully capable of perceiving the world around you. Life continues to call, but to hear its voice, you must be present in the moment. Honor the memory of those who have passed and pay tribute to the past, but at the same time, carefully cherish and value what remains. Let past losses shape your compassion and depth of soul, but not define your identity or rob you of life's joy. For a person's essence is far broader and more multifaceted than simply the sum of their losses. It's time to discuss 3 types of places you should avoid after reaching a certain age: physical, emotional, and spiritual. First and foremost, you must stop frequenting places where respect is absent. At this stage of life, a sense of self-worth becomes not just desirable, but a vitally necessary element of well-being. If someone adopts a dismissive tone, ignores your opinion, or belittles your words, then simply leave. Age is not an impediment to seeking tranquility and self-respect. On the contrary, accumulated wisdom suggests not settling for less. Whether family relationships, social groups, or long-standing friendships, if the interaction drains and oppresses you, it's necessary to distance yourself. Everyone deserves the right to peace and respect, and you should not allow anyone to infringe upon your personal value and accumulated experience. Secondly, you should avoid places where your presence is merely tolerated. If invitations are driven by pity, or if interaction amounts to polite detachment without genuine interest, then it's worth considering whether this place is a source of inner peace, or if it dampens your inner light. Time becomes incredibly valuable, and it should be spent where your name is spoken with joy, where your presence is welcomed, not merely tolerated or managed. Your soul deserves to be seen, heard, and valued. You are not a burden, but rather a blessing to those who understand your true worth. Seek out places where your energy is respected, your story is honored, your joy matters, and where you can feel truly accepted and needed. Stop looking back, trying to rewrite pages that have long since been turned. Many mature adults are prone to reliving old grievances, naively believing that another mental return to the past will bring long-awaited peace. However, healing comes not through the endless replaying of traumatic memories, but through liberation from them. You owe your pain nothing, for you have already endured it, and that is enough. Let memories subside, and scars heal. The past has already taken too much time and energy. Do not allow it to steal your future. Focus on what can be changed in the present, and on the joys that await ahead. Therefore, if you, having reached a venerable age, are still reading these lines, know this: you are not fading, but improving. You are not declining, but awakening. Whether 60, 70, or 80, this is not the end of the journey, but rather one of life's most significant and profound chapters. This is a time when silence speaks loudest, when simplicity heals, and when the soul begins to shine brighter than ever before. Let go of everything that weighs you down. Free your heart and mind. Speak only what brings peace and harmony. Go only where your spirit feels free and fulfilled. It's not too late. You have arrived at this moment precisely on time, to live it consciously and fully. This is the true richness of age, where aging is not a loss, but the creation of a legacy. Tranquility is strength, and your legacy is still being written right now.